masters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Dee, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Weed Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So this is TopNub's second, well, I don't even think it's his second torch, but it's basically, it's not his first. His first torch, he ran with, I believe, 4 less skills total. So it was much closer to 40 for his skeleton warriors as opposed to his current, like 45, 44, 40. It was more like 41, 40, 36, or 7. He got the Faith Bow. His Merc has good enough gear. I'm actually surprised that his Merc is going to live the entirety of Uber Tristram. But that's kind of the best thing about Act 1 Merc, always, is that she kind of doesn't get herself killed in Ubers, because she'll kind of pick a spot. So especially if you keep your golems up, they'll actually have a higher or the same amount of threat profile as your Merc does, and so even Diablo's range attacks hopefully won't attack her much. So he gets really, really lucky in Matron's Den. We're gonna kind of blow through this. Matron's Den is the only dangerous place for a summoner to farm. It kind of is just the only dangerous place that for anybody. I mean, you can take it slow, where you can play anything slow. The reason why it's pretty rough is just those Flesh Archers can crit, so even non-might extra strong or Fanapacks, they can just, your character can just get deleted, especially early on. I actually think it's the only one that's worth max block. I don't think you should really run it, but it's like, if you were running max block, I wouldn't spec out of it. I would actually lean into it, because you don't need that much more health. I mean, you only get 2 health per Vite point, right? It's not a big deal. And then you can do Matron's Den a lot more smooth. Also, PDR is especially good there. So let's say you have a max block setup. You don't even need to run your max block setup. You can just put on your Storm Shield and your Dungos and just kind of do it like halfway. Because at some point, you're just going to overgear this content that you just kind of want to do it as quickly as possible. So you kind of just throw on a Storm Shield and a Dungos and call it a day. Here we got the Duriel kill. Duriel's easy. He just takes forever. He has a lot of PDR. He has a lot of health and a lot of regen. You just keep those blood golems up, keep Desecrate up, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Actually, a little quick note is we're going to be doing DPS checks. Ren created a dummy that we can use in Pluggy to do pretty accurate DPS checks for every single Necromancer summon. He already said that for his test so far, Clay Golems actually do more single target DPS than Blood Golems. Don't ask me why. I would think it has something to do with their base damage. Just top of my head. Izzy's dead. He's the easiest one. There's literally nothing to talk about. Now we go into Chaos Tristram. Here's the 1 point in revive trick. You just get Uduars. Their crushing blow just makes the fight. It basically makes the first 25% go instantly. Crushing blow is still insane. It was deservedly nerfed. I mean, I think Fizz classes are still pretty powerful. Now with the DS nerf, it's kind of going to be interesting to see. So look at that. The first 25% just goes in a blink of an eye. Mephisto's pretty easy. His poison is pretty annoying, because he kind of kills your skeletons pretty hard. Actually, Bale really never kills my summons. Diablo can. Mephisto actually kills them more than anything. It's just that Diablo's the most frustrating one because his AI can be so variable. So honestly, if you want to do Mephisto last, I think that's fine. Doing Mephisto first is just because he's the easiest to pull apart. So I actually don't really agree with Mephisto, Bale, Diablo. If you really wanted to min-max it, you would do Bale first, then Diablo, then Mephisto. Now, a lot of people do Mephisto first also because it's conviction order. Well, he's so easy to pull away. You can actually just pull him away and leave him there. And either way, it's not a big deal. Especially with the gear TopNub has, his skeletons probably aren't going to die. But let's say if you're doing this on a little bit more of a budget, I wouldn't stress, but if you can pull them apart and do Bale first, I would take Bale first, because he's not going to kill anybody. He might kill you, but he's not going to kill any of your summons. Here, Bale was being kind of an asshole to TopNub. Gave him... When an Uber's stuck in a building, I think I might have... maybe I wouldn't have killed Diablo. I don't know. At this point, I would have just been frustrated, because no matter what, you're going to have to deal with pulling Bale out of the building, whether you kill him first or Diablo first. It's not like the RNG is going to increase that he's going to teleport. I actually think that Bale is the hardest to get out of a building, because Diablo, dude, either he runs around like a cat or he just stands where he is and he just doesn't do anything. And when he does that and you have your summons in the right spot, he's pathetically easy. But if he's running around like a cat, he can be a real bitch sometimes. And then there's the times where he's in a building and you're like, okay, run. Come on, do the running thing. And he's like, nah, I think I'm just going to stand right here. And it's like, no, stand right there outside where I can kill you, please. And he's like, nah, I'm kind of chilling out. Anything else important to say? It's kind of simple. There are some issues with Ubers and how they spawn. Like, Lilith can spawn with poison immunity. Probably should have brought that up when he was fighting him. If it happens, don't worry about it. She can also be visually glitched, where it seems like Desecrate works to stop her regen, but she doesn't take poison damage. This game's old. Also, there's a little moment that's going to happen. You're free to pause the video. I want you to know, what do you think TopNub's going to do? He's almost got the fight clinched. Is he going to A, just finish the fight, or is he going to B, do something really, really stupid? Decide. If you chose B, you'd be right. Look at him. What an idiot. Could you imagine if he had actually died there? All right, guys, Skelly King out. GG.
Come play with us, Daddy. Forever.